All right. Well, so we this week, to be fair, both of us are kind of, I think, laying low right now while we're ready for the football seasons to spark up, because that really does get you and I in front of news and sports news and everything that's going on in the world a little bit more than we've been. So I feel like both of us have been taking a little bit of time to just kind of lay in the silence. But you stumbled across a news story this week that in the sports world that is really beyond remarkable for 2021 and just really amazing for any time period. Why don't you tell the people explain it like you explained it to me the other day, and then we can start chopping this bullshit up.
So when I started talking to you about it, I didn't have all the details, and I still don't
Who
have all the
does?
details.
Does anyone?
But but so I didn't see this, and this is kind of unusual. But I did have a busy weekend when this was on TV that I didn't catch wind of this, either flipping through the channels or whatnot. Because usually I'll flip on ESPN just kind of see what's on. But I didn't do that this past weekend when this happened. So I caught wind of this Bishop Sycamore thing a couple days ago, and I sent you a message about it saying, "Hey, you hear about this Bishop Sycamore and them pulling one over on ESPN?" And you were clueless on it, which I mean I was too up until that point.
Hey, the past weekend you had a lot of hurricane watching, and you have family down there. You're paying attention to that. I got soccer, and even I was paying attention to hurricane. Our attention was diverted elsewhere, and this snuck up on us.
Needless to say, I also had a kid that we thought had COVID but didn't. He tested negative, although he had a fever for 5 straight days and no other symptoms. But that's a whole nother topic. I don't want to get into it because this show will be on YouTube, and I'm not trying to get into that topic here because it's a YouTube episode as well. So we call into this Bishop Sycamore thing, and all I want to say is while you're hearing us talk about this, just Google Bishop Sycamore and just see what comes up. So I send Doc a note about this Bishop Sycamore thing and say, "Hey man, have you been catching up with this? Supposedly this, I'm going to call it a high school, but they're not really a high school. They're a bunch of junior college dropouts from what I gathered. And the head coach was wanted for some crime. I can't remember which one it was, so I don't want to misstate anything here. I want to be fair there. Anyway, Bishop Sycamore played a game against IMG Academy on ESPN. And the thing about this school is, from what we gather, it's not a school. And
So
ES-
hold on. I, that needs processing because ESPN aired a game, and they usually only air high quality big matchups with a high school that's a high school and something that we can't figure out what it is.
yeah, so basically this, I'm using this term loosely, Ohio school, came under fire after it basically duped a marketing agency into putting it into one of these spotlight games for high schools on ESPN, and they were going to play against IMG Academy. Now, there's a marketing group. The marketing group apparently allegedly is called Paragon Marketing Group, that does the scheduling for these ESPN high school football kickoffs. They do this every year. I've seen it for a few years now. I don't know if Paragon has been a part of it for all these years, but they do this every single year. And they put together this. Now, Paragon, I believe, admitted to not doing their due diligence on this quote unquote Bishop Sycamore school. And Bishop Sycamore slid through the cracks and was on a nationally televised game against IMG Academy, which is a high profile school and major football program amongst high schools.
So my
And
first thought right there is, so you're telling me that ESPN basically let some high school kids play against who knows who?
yeah, because that's the thing. The one thing I haven't seen, and it may have come out by now by the time this airs, is we don't have a clue who these kids and athletes are. Now, it's important to note that they got the crap beat out of them by IMG.
And what's even more important is, as it was happening, the announcer started acknowledging it in the middle of it.
Yes.
What corporation do you know admits a fault ever? And especially while it's still going on, they got to wait till the travesty is over so they can whitewash it.
Yeah, the commentators for this game are pretty much, I'm gonna use a wrestling term, they're breaking kayfabe on air. Like,
For real.
what? Like, one of the guys is like, we tried to do our research. We have no idea who these people are. They supposedly had athletes who were being recruited by, the Alabamas of the world, the Clemsons, the Ohio States, but none of these folks we have information on, and they're going on and on and on about that. And the other guy that's commentating is like, this game really should stop because it's like 20-0 by this point. And there's like half of the second quarter to go. So IMG Academy just drubs them. And Doc, I just happened to look something up while I was talking to you. Would you believe Bishop Sycamore has a Twitter account? And 19 minutes ago, as of us recording this, they tweeted seeking an opponent for Week 8, Friday, October 8th. DM us.
Man, they're like the dude that just got out of the pen that's rolled down to the playground and said, "I got next." Come on. So a couple of
Boogie,
things here.
nothing about you says computer or technology, Bishop
They
Sycamore.
are
Go ahead.
not listed in the Ohio Department of Education as a charter school. It was listed as a non-chartered, non-tax supported school last year. The school chose to be non-chartered. Boy, and if this ain't wrestling, there ain't nothing that ever is. The school chose to be non-chartered due to truly held religious beliefs.
Oh, my God.
They do not have an exact address listed. They only have a P.O. box. And their website has a nondescript picture of a football player. Their staff and about us on their website are blank.
Okay, that's tremendous. Do you want to hear some more from this Twitter feed? These fools retweeted Joel the Troll Embiid, and this looks like actually Joel Embiid, who said, "From my own experience, y'all have no idea how much this media makes up stuff for followers, and shame on you for believing them." They felt the need to retweet that.
Well, apparently I'm reading here on Yahoo Sports, they fired their head coach yesterday.
And I read, and I'm going to say all this allegedly because, none of this stuff's confirmed. Doc and I are just reading reports that we're seeing online about this and what ESPN has said. Allegedly, he had a warrant or something for something. I'm not sure what it was.
They let God knows who face high school kids on national TV. If something went wrong, if one of them turned into Ron Fuller and wanted to body slam Artis Gilmore on national TV or pull out a knife and stab a kid, I mean, the negligence, I don't care about the score. I don't care about anything else. The negligence there tells me that somebody is liable for something. I'm just saying this. I mean, this is akin to basically. I mean, shit, Mike. This is like if I showed up at Raw and said, "Y'all know Altar Boy Luke Hawks. Yeah, he knows me. He sent me down here to work." And the next thing you know, I'm in the ring against whomever.
I mean, that's basically what it is. Even worse, it'd be like getting you a spot on Raw and you've never taken a bump. And it's like, dude, what's Doc doing on Raw tonight? Well, right. Altar Boy Luke put in a call because he knew some folks there. And they're like, dude, who are you sending us? This guy's got no credentials.
He's like, Brad, I didn't send you nobody. I don't even know. Yo. I don't know.
Yeah. This is a tremendous. Now, by the time this airs, of course, this probably has taken on another life of its own.
Well, here's the other thing. This team was supposed to play. They're supposedly from Ohio. They were supposed to play one of the teams from where we live.
I did see that last night, and one of the teams
down here said nah, brah, and pulled out.
Yeah, they pulled out. I just think this is tremendous. If you go to providing this Twitter account is still available by the time this airs, because Lord knows if it got shut down. But at Bishop Football, and if I'm being trolled, they're good. It literally says 24 minutes ago, seeking an opponent for Week 8, Friday, October 8th. DM us. They also are seeking an opponent for Week 5, September 17th. DM them. Tremendous.
Man, what we ought to do is get together some BTT ballers and ball out with them.
I'm tempted to say, hey, bro, you want to do an interview on our show?
We could get 11 people to show up. BTT.
We easily, but I don't know.
Hey, we don't got pads, but we'll play flag. How about that?
I think they want to play tackle. This is it's a tremendous story. Again, Google it. Lord knows where the story's going to be by the time this all unfolds.
The fact that this kind of shit could happen in 2021 is mind-boggling to me.
That's the thing that's mind-boggling. That is the thing that you and I agreed on. I told my wife about that. It was like, because she asked me about it, and she's like, how does that happen in 2021? I'm like, you got me. And not only how does it happen to a company like ESPN?
Have you seen that trash app they've been rolling with for the past 5 years?
Well, the app is garbage for the last 5 years, but you do have to say a company owned by Disney. I mean, it's like, again, I agree with you, but at the same time, how does that happen? This is phenomenal. This is a tremendous story how they wiggled their way into ESPN, and they're still tweeting looking for opponents. This would have been
phenomenal in 1991.
So it's even more incredible in 2021.
Exactly. With the ability to do research and vet things and just mind-boggling. We're going to have to keep an eye on this as it moves forward because they don't seem to have much remorse for what they've done thus far.
No, they're looking for more opponents and telling people don't believe the media.
If I'm the team that went and played, and yeah, we won 58-0, I'm looking at our AD and what was he doing during all this?
I don't know, this feels like a money grab for some people who shouldn't be doing a money grab, but it's all allegedly. I don't know.
That's the biggest problem is there's too much money in high school sports, and you don't need to be playing cross states. Stay in your area where you know the schools and just play in your neighborhood.
No, you can't say that now. Everything is commercialized.
I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Well, you can say whatever you want, but that's not how it works. That's not how capitalism and money
works,
okay?
Maybe we should seize the means of the schedule. You know what I mean?
Okay, Karl Marx. Anyway, yeah, no. That's not how it works, man. These schools.
High school kids do not need to be traveling across 3 straight states.
Will you listen to me for a second? I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. They need to have
their nose in these books.
Okay.
And maybe somewhere else but we'll.
That ain't how capitalism works. All right?
Right.
What's happening is there are these big time schools. They can't find good competition where they're at. Thus, they got to play other big time schools in other states. That's how it works. And guess what? There's always a money trail because you got to track the money. And guess what? There's people getting paid a lot of money to do these showcase games. That's the other part. They literally worked and got on ESPN. And I want to know where they sent ESPN or whoever sent the check to for these guys. Because they got a check. They got a check. Who was the check made out to? Anyway, all right. Any more on Bishop Sycamore?
We're going to have to keep an eye on this. I encourage you all for a giggle to like Mike said, Google it. I guess we'll see where this goes.
I'm dying right here as I look at this screen. They are looking for opponents for 3 weeks from now. I mean,
yo, can we get a game?
Dude,
I mean that's what the youth soccer teams do. I mean, they'll just post on this message board that we're on. Hey, does anybody want to scrimmage this weekend? We got a field. That's also, what this feels like.
Yeah, but that's not on ESPN either. So, okay, what else we got, Doc? Before we get into part 2 of April 14th,
I think it's time to rip the Band-Aid and do this.